Hello everyone. Now I am sharing my screen and now the first thing we're going to do today is I'm using Unreal Engine 5 input system. Now in this new Unreal Engine 5 now we have a new input system, and probably maybe in upcoming years maybe we couldn't the older input system couldn't be available for us to use. So we always should update ourselves to the new features to do things in each new engine version. So when we press play, as you can see, when I push W keyboard button, my character immediately starts running. But what if I would like to make it like when I press W, it starts walking, and when I'm holding Shift, it's running. Like in a, I mean, we get familiar with the games we are playing. So to do so, let's first of all, as you remember, for creating this MetaHuman character, we took a reference from our third-person character. That means if we open our third-person character blueprint, inside of this blueprint, any changes we made related with animations or related with movement, that will be appear in our MetaHuman character also. So if you choose the character movement here, and now you can see this character movement walking features, and here you can decrease the walk speed, and you can make your character walking around. So let's make it 200 and press enter, and if you compile and save, let's turn back to your editor, and now when you press play, now your character is walking, not running. So now, but if I'm holding shift, there is nothing, because I need to arrange a speed change in between holding shift or not. So to do so, we're going to use the input action system. If you go to third person folder and go to input folder, and inside of actions folder, as you can see, these are input actions for jumping, looking, and movement for our default mannequin character. But now I'm going to create a new input action for running. So if you right click here, and if you go to input now, you can choose this input action here, and let's call it as input action run. Okay, and then when you double click on it, you can save it. You can see the features of this input action. And now the other thing we need to do to assign a keyboard control on it, right? So if you go to input folder, inside of this input mapping content file, if you double click on it, and inside of this mappings tab, you can see the input actions and their related keyboard buttons. And if you click on this plus icon, and now we can choose this running input action, and here we can call shift for running. I'm going to choose a left shift button, and you can choose any other button you desire, and then let's save it. Okay, and now we made necessary changes in mapping content, and then let's turn back to blueprints, open our blueprints, and as you can see in the event graph, we have some events, triggering events for our all movements behaviors, forward, backward, or jumping. And that means we also need to call the input action event for running. So if you right click and search for input action run, then you can choose it now. And then we need to set the maximum speed, right? So if you right click and if you search for set maximum speed, if you couldn't find, then you should make the content sensitive disable. And now inside of character movement component, we have set maximum walk speed. And if you choose it and duplicate it with Control D, then we will switch in between two walking speed, 200 and 500. Okay. Why I choose these values? Because 500, I have checked this. 500 was my previous running speed, and I set it to 200 to get walking speed. So I use these values. You can also change these values according to your test. And when I started holding Shift, I will run. And when I completed holding Shift, I will go to walking speed. Okay. And also, I need a target reference on there. So let's choose this character movement and put it here. And now let's give it as your target reference. Okay. And let's compile and save. And if you test it, now let's go down. And now I'm walking, if I press Shift, my character starts running. Okay. Now we successfully applied our first operation in input mapping of Unreal. And then now we will create another challenge for ourselves. Now, what if we would like to have a crouch animation also? Now we don't have this crouch animation in our third-person animation system, so we need to use this animation starter pack. We also downloaded it previous time. If you go to Windows, let's open Marketplace. It's opening now. Now, this is our Marketplace, and if you go to library, we have already installed animation starter pack, and if you click on add to project, and then you can choose your project to add this item. And this, by the way, by doing this operation, it would be better to close the project. Okay, let's close the project, and then let's call add to project. Now it's adding it. Now after adding it to the project, it's the safer way. Then let's open the project again. Okay, now as you can see, animation starter pack is here now, and then I have chosen this crouch idle riffle hip, crouch idle riffle hip, and the other one is crouch wall FWD riffle hip. This one. Okay, holding Control, you can choose both of them, and if you right click on them, there is an option called retarget animation assets. And if you go here, you need to click on duplicate and retarget animation assets and blueprints. Then now you're going to choose from you for money, we're going to retarget you with 5 monies, not the source is U4 and asset starter pack, and this is U5. So we'll make this conversion, and you can see this is source skeletal mesh and this is target skeletal mesh, right? And then let's click on retarget. As you can see now, we have retargeted our packages, animation pack successfully, animation successfully. Okay. And then now let's move on with making some operations inside of our character blueprint. Okay. Go to third-person blueprint and choose your camera character movement and search for crouch. Okay. Then, first of all, we need to open cam crouch movement capability. And also set the maximum walk speed. This is walk speed. So let's choose the walking speed, which is 200 in my case. So let's make the movement speed 200. Okay, this is the first thing you need to do. Okay. And then we will use our many character blueprints. Now let's go to the content folder, characters folder, and mannequins. Inside of it, there is an animations folder. And in my case, I'm using a Kun character, female character. So if you double click on it, it says this is a child of many. That means it uses the logic and graph of another many blueprints. So we need to make our changes in many blueprints, and many blueprints or overrides this blueprint. So this is the actually. I mean, this is a new feature. It's not like that in older features like 5.0 even. In these older versions, you can see the whole features of the animation blueprint on itself, not on the parents. But in this case, we need to make all the animation changes in this many parent animation blueprint. Okay. There's that kind of an issue. Okay. And here we need to open the locomotion part. Okay. And this inside of AnimGraph we have this locomotion option. We are arranging the animation states and their transitions in between here. So if you right click, let's add another step for crouch and then press enter. And then after creating crouch state, we also need to have transitions in between idle to crouch and to crouch to idle. So that we can also set some conditions and parameters in between these transitions. Also, we need to assign the animation itself inside of this crouch state. Then let's go to the double click on this crouch state, and in your asset browser, let's search for crouch. And here you're going to see this idle riffle hip. Okay, and let's connect this crouch idle riff with the result animation. Okay, and now when you compile it, you're going to get some warnings, and the reason of it, when you go back to the locomotion, we didn't assign any criteria for the transitions in between these idle and crouch states. So we're going to assign and is crouching now transition. So let's go to the variables and define a variable, call it as is crouching now. Okay, is crouching now. And then first of all, let's open this idle to crouching rule. And now I will get this variable, get is crouch now variable, and I'm gonna make the connection here. Okay. So we also need to assign a similar connection for this time crouching to idle, right? So let's go to the locomotion and this time select crouch to idle and get this variable here and select this not Boolean operator, because now we are not crouching. While passing through crouching to idle animation, that means our crouching operation is finalized and we are not crouching, so we call this not operator. And when you compile and save, no, there is no warning, because we have assigned all the conditions, parameters for the transition in between states. Okay, and also if you go back to the event graph, as you can see, there are some sequence and different sequences in between different animation operations, like falling down or having some different operation. Then now we need to have a need then operator and sequence to get also these falling events in our event graph. So using this then sequence, now we will set this its crouching now variables. Okay, so let's go and call for set is crouching now. Okay, and now we will choose this one, and then we also have the crouching movements. If you search for is crouching, now I'm searching for a function for deciding is crouching. So if you make the context sensible disabled, you can reach this is crouching function, and then it also needs the target for movement component. Okay, so you also need a target. So let's search for get movement component, and you need to make it context sensitive to reach the exact child of your main character get component movement. Okay, and then now we have made the necessary applications in our animation blueprint, and let's compile and save. Hopefully we now don't have any errors, and then let's go to the input folder. Now inside of actions folder, we are going to define new input actions for our input action. Let's say crouching. And then when you double click on it, it's the same structure. And then let's go to the this map and a new map and search this time crouching, and for the keyboard let's choose C keyboard button this time. Now we have also saved it, and we have also completed the necessary tasks in our input managing system. Then the only thing we are going to do is opening our third-person blueprint character, and then we also need another event for this time crouching, right? So let's search for crouching events. This events function crouching, and when start it's crouch. When it's completed, it's uncrouch. Okay. And now we have called these default functions for crouching and uncrouched option. And if you compile and save it, now if you press play, now I can walk by pressing Shift, I can run. And if I press C, now my character crouch. But there is a problem with the feet, right? It's not an optimal position. And now I'm going to show you how to solve it. If you go to the characters folders and mannequins and animations, and open our characters animation blueprint, and let's this time double click on animation graph. And the reason of this position of feet is this alpha, guys. This alpha is set to 1, but in this is couching now, now if it's not couching, we need to have a more coherent transition in between, not crouching and the rigging. Okay. The alpha is related to transparency. You are also using it on other software. So if you don't set alpha on a strict value, fix the transition, that it keeps a more fluent transition in between your rig and animation. So let's save it and press play. Now, when I press C, look at the feet. Now the feet is on a optimal position, which I desire. Now we have created a coherent transition in between coaching and walking. Okay. Now we have worked with animations, animation blueprints. We have learned how to add crouching animation to the character. And then now our challenge is, after talking about these animation features, now we will mention the features of physics objects in Unreal Engine. Now you will make use of some features of physics objects probably by using our exploration and achievement mechanics. Maybe you need to push that object here, and you need to jump on top of the object to reach that platform. But if you are doing this by using that level, it's not enough momentum, so you cannot jump here. So you can also maybe scroll some objects through inside of some caves, some niches, to find and maybe a narration about the game, or to find maybe a key to open some gate, or change the to pass through another level. So we need to interact with object. But when you add, using that button here, when you add a basic shape like that, then let's look at it. Now I would like to delete this one. Now this is my shape, and if I press play, now it holds on air, and I cannot interact the object, I cannot push it, because it's not behave like a physics object. So if I would like to make the object a physics object, then I need to make its mobility movable, and I also need to open these simulate physics and also mass feature. And now if I press play, it falls down, and I can interact with the object. I can push it and fall down. And now if you increase the mass quality, let's say, let's make it 250, And then in this case, if you press play, it's harder to push it. Okay, now it moves like a heavy object. It moves slowly and in a rigid behavior, not too much jittery. But let's make it 50. And in this case, if we make it 50, and if I press play, now my object behave like a toy. Now it goes away easily. It turns around the environment. I can push it. I can move it in an easy way, and I can interact with the object in an easy way. If I decrease the mask quality, okay. And then there are also some, some other contents that I would like to touch on, like making a collectible, how we can create a collectible on that layout. Now, let's assume that this is a coin. You know how to create this shape, right? From this part, we can create a cylinder, and if we decrease the scale of cylinder and turn it around, now we can have this coin-like structure. But if we would like to, probably we will have lots of collectibles, some items in this game. Maybe some of them we're going to use for incrementing our score. We will use maybe we will use some ancient ruins to collect and maybe to solve some puzzles in our game. So maybe we should make it a blueprint to control the changes in some source and use the pickup item in somewhere else. So if you select the object and if you click on this option here, then now you can browse the location of blueprint, right click, and let's choose content folder, right click, and let's create a blueprint folder, and then let's choose that folder. And now let's also write the name of our character blueprint. BP, we can say BP coin. Then let's select the item on there. And now we can choose a different material for the object, a golden material, for example. Golden material. And immediately the object also get the material. And we can also put a text on it. If you click on this add button and search for text, now you can also add a text renderer on it. And for the text renderer, if you change its alignment to center and text center, now we have changed its alignment, and maybe we can rotate it to face the object, and you can also play with the size of it and let's also change the text. Let's write G. Okay. Let's increase the size a bit more to make it visible. And then let's change the rendering color. Okay. Then you can also copy this text to the other side of the object with Control. Create another text item for the other face of it. Just you need to convert the direction to see it on correct way. But now it doesn't face me properly, so let's turn it a bit and Now let's check the other side. It's okay. Then now I created a text on my layout also. Then if I press play, now it looks better. And maybe to catch the player eye, maybe we're gonna add a rotation to the object. So to add a rotation to the object, let's add a rotation, and a rotate. Rotating moment, okay. And then if you choose this rotating moment, then you can let's first of all you need, if you would like to move your object, then you need to select static mesh and make it move. So let's select and compile it, and if you press play, now it's moving, but it's not the direction I desire. So let's go here and choose this rotating moment, and let's take this and put it here. I will make this rotation 0, compile and save, and it will go down. Now but this is still not the way I wish. So let's paste it here and make it 0, and compile, save, and now, okay, it's turning on that direction, which is good. I think it catches player eye. Maybe you're gonna have some valuable stones, valuable ancient objects, and then maybe they can turn around. You can place point lines on them to catch player eye and to show that you should take the object, you should interact with the object to solve something, to be rewarded, to get something in the game. So, but still our player cannot collect the item. And let's think about how we can make the player to collect the item. So we need to add a collision on it, right? Let's search for the sphere collision, and then if you select the sphere collision, then let's increase the size. Let's make this size higher. It's too much. Okay, it's better. And after adding this sphere collision, you need to add an on component begin overlap. If you go down the click on this plus icon, and then when there is a collision, by taking source this on component begin overlap, then let's write print string and let's say coin collected. Okay. Now, if you compile and save, let's see what's going on. If you touch this collision, then on the upper left-hand side, it says coin collected. Right? So we made a debugging. Also, we also gave player a warning about coins collected. But if we would like to destroy the object when we collect it, which is natural, so let's use destroy actor function, and then let's compile and save. Then if you press play, now the object is collected. Okay. And now we have learned how to create a pickup system basically, and now we will also talk about adding a loss condition, how we can add a loss condition. So we will make use of, to restart our level, we will make use of some triggers, and If you click on this quickly add button, you can directly write trigger here, and you can choose a trigger box there. And now this is a trigger box to have a loss condition, maybe game over condition here, and then maybe my ground is full of some harmful materials, some maybe water, maybe I am in a higher place. If I fall down, I'm gonna die. So let's create a loss condition volume here. Okay, by the way, before doing so, maybe the changes of the sizes of loss condition volume change. So you should also make it a blueprint. Select your trigger box, click on this part, and you can browse the blueprint folder, and let's call it as BP loss condition. Okay. Then let's choose your trigger box and select. And now, by the way, we can change the color. This is the lose condition, which is a negative thing, and it's green, but losing can be a negative thing. So let's search the color and make it red. Okay, and click OK. Then compile and save. And then now we have a blueprint for loss condition. I didn't cover the whole area, but you got the idea. You can change the size on scene, and it keeps same in blueprint so that you can arrange the size according to the loose placement on your scene. By the way, arrange the height accordingly. For example, in such a platforms, in between platforms, maybe they are lower platforms in height, so maybe player jump on top of it without losing. So in that case, the height of this volume would be lower than this platform. So please pay attention to that. Now let's open this loose condition and choose this collision component. And then if you go down, you can see this on component begin overlap. When trail touch the collision, then first of all, let's give a warning using print string, and let's say you lose. If you compile and save, let's test it. If I fall down, it says me you lose. And then now, what if we would like to have a game over case, levels restarting case when we fall down? First of all, I would like to mention a new feature for you, which is time dilation. Let's edit time dilation, set global time dilation. Let's choose it, and you can make it 0.5 or less, higher. And this time dilation creates a slow motion effect. And this is something we would wish when the game is over. If you are remembering the games you are playing, when you are in loose condition, if you continue moving, it gets slow motion to warn you that now the game is finishing, or you failed finishing before restarting the level. It gets slow motion, and it's made by this time dilation. And then now I also would like to restart level. So we can use the open level by name function. We need to write the name of the level properly. In our case, this is third person map. Pay attention to this syntax. And then there should be a delay in between time dilation and opening a new level to see the effect of time dilation, right? So let's search for delay. And then after delay, after waiting a bit, then let's start the level after waiting a bit to see the effect of slow motion. So I would like to wait 2 seconds to see the effect of slow motion, and after that, my level is restarted. Okay, and then press play. Now, if I fall down to loss condition, now my player slows down and the level restart. Now I am running to see show other. Now slow down and it's restart. Okay. We have also talked about this time dilation and loose condition mechanism. That you may follow these steps and apply them in your personal projects. And okay, thank you for your effort.